Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Sunday the 16th of May 2021 and we're publishing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 14th of May. We also briefly look at political events and economic reports which could shape what happens to the US dollar and therefore precious metal prices moving forward. So let's take a look. Now, before we talk about precious metal prices, just a reminder that we interviewed an IT security specialist yesterday by the name of Ray, who gives us the inside track on whether our electronic devices are spying on us or not, and what, if anything, we can do about it. The video was entitled, "Are Your Electronic Devices Spying on You and What You Can Do About It?" and we've placed a link to this in the description box below. Now, gold rose $13 last week from $1,831 to $1,844, having hit a high of $1,846, so it closed only $2 off its high, and a low of $1,809. Now, this rise of $13 follows the previous week's rise of $61, so it's performed extremely well. In sterling terms, gold finished the week at £1,308. That's actually down £2, thus showing the strength of sterling against the dollar. And in euros, it closed at €1,518. That's up €13. So again, showing sterling strength against the euro in the last week. Silver fell 3 cents, from $27.48 to $27.45. having hit a high of $27.88 and a low of $26.75. In sterling terms, silver closed at £19.46, that's down 20 pence, and in euros it closed at 22.60 euros, and that's up 0.01 euro, so a tiny change. The gold to silver ratio rose from 66.2 to 1 to 67.2 to 1. Bitcoin is down over $10,000 and at the time of publication stands at $48,976. So it's taken quite a hit in the last week or so. The Dow Jones closed on Friday at 34,382. That's up 360 points on the day, thank goodness, because it still ended up down 395 points on the week. The S&P 500 closed at 4,173, up 61 points on the day, but down 59 points on the week. And the Nasdaq Composite closed at 13,429, up 304 points on the day, but down again 323 points on the week. Looking at oil prices, Brent crude closed at $68.71, that's up 43 cents. And WTI crude closed at $65.37, and that's up 47 cents on the week. Dollar index stands at 90.32, and that's up 0.09 points on the week, so a very marginal rise. We concluded last week's video with the following forecast. Quote, "So our gold trading range for this coming week is raised compared with last week, at between $1,775 and $1,875 for gold, with $1,700 and $1,900 as outliers, and silver trading between $26.50 and $28.50, with $26 to $29 as outliers." Unquote. While looking at this forecast, we can see that gold stayed well within our $1,775 to $1,875 bracket, and silver within $26.50 to $28.50. As far as gold was concerned, it operated within a margin of $37 between its high and low, and silver within a margin of $1.13 between its high and its low. Now, looking at gold first, we can see that gold rose initially at the start of last week, maintained some pace on Tuesday and early Wednesday, but then fell back, bottoming on Thursday, but staging a recovery Thursday afternoon and through Friday, ending just off its week's high. This is indeed very positive, and gold needs to breach the 1850 level to show that its strength is sustainable. That said, as with all markets, no direction is guaranteed, and should we see gold fall slightly, there is some comfort that it has strong support at $1,700, which is where the bottom of our outlier forecast lay. Equally, on the upside, we cannot completely rule out seeing $1,900 to $1,950 gold either in the short term. Much of last week's changes in precious metal prices were down to relatively strong gyrations in the dollar value or dollar price, witnessing half-cent rises and losses within 24-hour periods. Gary Wagner, who many may have seen on YouTube, often being interviewed by Kitco, is quoted by FX Gold as stating, quote, "Gold's three major moving averages, 50, 100 and 200-day, are in full bearish orientation. With the exception of the 200-day moving average, current pricing in gold is above all three major moving averages. Concurrently, the dollar index is trading below all of its major moving averages. The dollar has also a lot of technical as well as fundamental hurdles before it can be viewed as having bullish market sentiment." Unquote. And this, of course, is what's causing some confusion in identifying the appropriate direction for gold and silver by most analysts. Gold still is for us a good, obviously, long-term investment. And whilst it may struggle this year to reach some of the more bullish forecasts given at the start of the year by a number of institutions, we should still expect to see its price higher than it is now by the end of the year. Silver, like gold, rose on opening last week, then fell back, and below its opening price on Monday, attempted a rally on Tuesday, then continued to fall through Thursday, staging a modest but notable recovery on Friday. $28 is once again within its orbital sight, though midweek one did wonder about that, but most analysts are agreed. Although once $28 is broken, it may indeed take some time and difficulty to break above the $30 mark, at least short term. On the downside, the 50-day EMA is a reasonable support level at $26.30, with $26 being a strong psychological round number, acting as quite a substantial support price. Now, we're still waiting to see the catalyst that is going to push silver higher, but of slight concern now is the spread of the Indian variant of COVID-19, with some politicians, certainly here in the United Kingdom, suggesting that future lockdowns cannot be ruled out. And should that happen, it may very well adversely affect silver's price, especially as now it's focused on an increase in industrial demand, which coming out of the global recession would assist happening. Looking at the economic data last week, we can see that the consumer price index was up 0.2% in April, standing at 0.8%, and core CPI was also up from 0.3% to 0.9%. Weekly jobless claims were thankfully lower at 473,000, but so too was the producer price index for April at 0.6%, compared with 1% in March. Retail sales announced on Friday were flat, with no increase for the month of April. And industrial product or production was only 0.7% for April, compared with 2.4% in March. The consumer sentiment index was also down from 88.3 to 82.8. The figures on Friday provided a tailwind for precious metal prices, as generally these data points were not overly encouraging. Now, looking forward to this coming week, on Monday we have the Empire State Manufacturing Index and the NAHB Home Builders Index, both for May. On Tuesday, building permits and housing starts for April. Wednesday, the FOMC minutes. Thursday, weekly jobless claims report, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index for May, and the Index of Leading Economic Indicators for April. Then on Friday, market manufacturing and services flash PMIs, both for May, and existing home sales for April. So There will be some attention on the FOMC minutes for sure, the weekly jobless claims on Thursday, and the flash PMIs on Friday. We don't really see anything here to make a dramatic impact on prices unless something out of the ordinary is announced. Geopolitically, there are a number of sensitive areas, but nothing we foresee at this stage that are likely to derail markets. That said, any further infection of the Indian variant of the COVID-19 virus could upset markets should vaccines appear ineffective. Though we are beginning to hear some reports, whether they're true we don't know, but some reports suggesting the current vaccines are fine. Only time will tell. The Middle East is also a concern, but one hopes it can be contained. The internal battle within the Republican Party will no doubt be laid bare by mainstream media, and Matt Gaetz and Rudy Giuliani both look as if they're in increasing peril of indictments. But neither of these issues should affect economic performance nor overall market sentiment. So our gold trading range for this coming week remains similar, not identical, but similar to last week, at between 1775 and 1875 generally, with 1700 and 1950 as outliers, and silver trading between $26.50 and $28.50, with $26 and $29 as outliers. What are your thoughts? Please share them below. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel, not forgetting to press the bell sign so you're notified of our videos as and when they're published, and also not forgetting that we publish a Richard and Greg channel, and we've had 1 or 2 videos on that this past week as well. Finally, we wish you a safe, enjoyable weekend and most prosperous week ahead. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.